All right. Hi, guys. We appreciate you letting us in here. I'm Dwayne Nielsen. I'm the marketing manager for National Property Inspections. I've met some of you. Some are new faces. But again, I'm the marketing manager. The shutterfly that's roaming around taking pictures is Jessica Courier. She handles our digital platform. So we will be posting and tagging you guys and stuff online there. I've been in before, and a lot of you have heard some of the things. We do have a little bit more in the ancillary side of the house. But as far as our buyer's guide, if you guys have used us, your buyers are going to get a buyer's guide at the time of the inspection. Inside of there are our warranties. That differentiates us from a lot of other inspection companies. We do, in fact, warranty our work. Tennessee Standards of Practice doesn't mandate that, but we believe that that's something that should happen. So we do, but we are not stepping on the toes if you've got arrangements with your 1-year warranty folks. These are short-term warranties, 3 90-day and 1 5-year platinum roof warranty. But again, that's just something we offer free to your clients at the time of that inspection. I want to state that we're a one phone call shop. So you make that phone call, you're good for radon, termite, sewer, septic, pool and spa, well water, mold. A lot of you know that you will not find the word mold in our reports. It'll be microbial growth or fungal growth, depending on the inspector. But we're not, Tennessee Standards of Practice says we are not allowed to call it mold because we're not mold inspectors. But we do mold testing. So I'll let you guys know that. One of the things I wanted to touch on, and Cindy's left flyers here for you, and I'll give you some more of them. This is a new ancillary service. This is for your engineer's letters for your manufactured homes. So we can supply you with that engineer letter now that they'll need for their financing. Most of the time they need that. Anytime it's a HUD deal, they want that engineer. So again, this falls under our same-day reporting. We have an arrangement with the engineer. He gets us that report within 12 hours to us, and we get it out just like the termite and all that. They'll be under the umbrella. They won't be part of that standard residential inspection because Tennessee Standard says that has to be a standalone report. But you will get it all at the same time, as long as we had 48-hour lead time on your radon. That's where we go. We'll set it up. Our inspector will pull it, obviously, at the day of the inspection, and you will get the results all at one time. But this is a new ancillary service, and it will take care of the foundation that you're going to need, and then if there are additions, which in the HUD world are a little different, they consider a set of steps an addition on those homes, which is kind of silly because you need to be able to get into your home, but for some reason they consider a set of steps an addition. But if they've got larger porches where it's tied into the roof, the inspector's got to be able to get a look at that, because that manufactured home where they tie it in, if they tie it in without support and you're running on those top plates for that manufactured home, it wasn't rated for that type of load. So they're going to have some posts up against that home to carry the majority of that load. Same thing on a deck. They can take the ledger board and tie it to the home, but you're going to need posts up close to the structure itself. It can't be just ledger board, come out 6 feet, and then cantilever your deck across that. That's too much load on that manufactured home, and it wasn't rated for that. So you're going to have the large post up close to that ledger board to sustain that weight. So this is a new ancillary. I'll briefly go through these things. The one phone call, you're going to get like I say, they're going to get this. There is a welcome to the new home buyer, congratulating them on their home. Obviously, I'm aging and I have to get my cheaters to be able to go through this. But we get in there, we congratulate them. We also have, it talks about our ancillary services here. And then we go into depth further in it. Re-inspections, I'd like to touch on that. If we do a re-inspection for you guys, we're going to go in and do the re-inspection on anything from that repair addendum. So whatever you negotiated during the transaction, whether it's one item or 100 items, we're going to go for a flat rate of $150 on a re-inspection. So that's something we offer there. You've got annual maintenance. So being of my age, I go annually and to the doctor, get all the stuff checked out, whether I like it or not. I'm going to do it. But how many of you think about doing that for your homes? We don't get a whole lot of response there, but annual maintenance inspections are a good thing. You're going to have one of two things. You're going to have a forever home buyer, or you're going to have somebody moving around every 5-10 years. They're going to be selling that. Well, it's the same as when you do maintenance on your vehicle. You keep those type of records. On an annual maintenance, if you were to get one each year and say you're flipping that house or you're only staying in it for 5 years, you come to that sale and you have that type of documentation. For the past 5 years, we have done maintenance inspections and these findings were there and we've made these remedies to those findings. That just solidifies your sale at that time. So those are $250 for that. And if you say that you saw it if their buyer says they've seen it in here, it's another 10% off of that. We get into the first, and which is our most common warranty. That's the 90-day warranty. That's the one that's going to have a $500 on the mechanical side of things, and it's going to have a $2,000 on the structure side. Again, this is no cost to your client. Most things we get in there are your hot water tanks. You'll get in, the inspector will go through that inspection, everything will be fine, 35, 45 days into it, and the hot water tank kicks a bucket. You would go ahead and get a quote or a receipt on that, submit it through Sydney or I, and we would send it off, and they would cut a check for $500 towards that replacement of a hot water tank or anything of that means. On the structural side, it's $2,000 on that. Again, on both of these, there's no deductible. On some, we've got some small deductibles on some of the other warranties, but that 90-day mechanical and structural, there are no deductibles on it. The next one is the 5-year platinum roof warranty. That is a replacement, or that is a repair warranty, not a total replacement warranty on the home. So that's bad shingles, things of that nature. They would go and do that. And that's a 5-year platinum roof. That's the lengthiest one. On that one, you have a $3,000 aggregate and a $500 deductible on. Well, you don't, but your buyer would have that on that type of claim.
So what determines total roof versus a repair? Say a repair is like 80% of the roof. Okay. What would determine a total roof replacement?
Well, I would say an insurance adjuster is going to make that call on that. If you have a good insurance policy, you're going to have it built in there where it is a total replacement in that policy. If you don't, then they're going to prorate that roof, and your buyer's going to be standing there with that bag. He's got to carry that weight there. But an insurance adjuster would make the determination whether it was a total or not, and then the small deductible, and then you can get that. But it's across a 5-year span.
So what would be the threshold of what that warranty would not cover?
Well, all of these warranties are based on the fact that you wouldn't have pre-existing conditions. If our inspectors go out there and find something and it's in the report, and we run across this all the time, those are considered, like you or I have a health condition and try and go and get insurance, you're not going to get insurance because of that. Same way they consider, the warranty company considers that pre-existing if it's found in our report. But that's a good question, that's commonplace. We get calls all the time, hey, I need to file a claim. Okay, well, that's fine. The process is you call Sydney or I, we pull your report, we speak to your inspector, and then we call you back within 24 hours. And 90% of the time, we find documentation inside the report that there was pre-existing. But that's how the process works. You would call us, we would investigate it with the inspector and the report. We've had them. We had a call from up here in Johnson City. We did one. It had we got the call from the gentleman. He calls, says, I need to make a claim. My garage doors, plural, meaning 3 of them, all failed at the same time. And we said, oh, okay, what are the chances of that? But we went, pulled the report, and said, and we told them the process. We'll get back to you in 24 hours. We pulled the report, and there was a full page on stuff on the garage doors, different things, whether it be the garage door opener. And the first question we ask is it in your report? And they always say no. But we go and find it. And that one, in fact, had it. I had a full page of documentation just on garage doors. But that's a good question on that. The next one in line here, and again, your buyers will get this brochure at the end. The next one is not the best topic while we're having lunch, but it is sewer guard. So we offer a sewer scope, but we also have a warranty on the sewer guard itself. And in fact, if you were to get a sewer scope during your residential inspection, it takes this 90-day warranty and bumps it out to a 180-day warranty just for getting that sewer scope inside of your residential inspection. On the sewer guard, it's a $2,000 per occurrence, $4,000 aggregate, and a $300 deductible. So I don't know how many of you on the personal side are Charmin users, but it is, in fact, as far as your sewer system, it is the worst toilet paper that you can put through your system. Not the comfort side. The comfort side is wonderful, but that paper fluffs and expands with water. And we had an instance where there was a young 20-some couple, brand new married in Maryville, brand new house, or not a brand new house, but new to them. They're freshly married, buy a new house. They think they got the world by the tail. The house had been sitting for a while. So what do we know about the older homes? What type of drain lines they have? That's normally a cast line. So your casts are going to be rotting from the inside out. So they're going to be rusting on the inside, and fluffing Charmin gets caught up in there. These folks moved in, and they moved out in 3 days. It had backed up all available access points back into that house. Moved out, they brought in, and this was before we did sewer scopes, they brought in a plumber. He ran a scope, found a clog. He just used his probe and drove that clog all the way to the street. $350 some bucks they charged him, but that was before we did that. That is something where the warranty will not cover it. We tried, but they won't cover it because it's self-inflicted. It is a clog, so they won't cover that. But sewer scopes are advantageous on your newer homes. Same thing if you've got a septic tank. We're going to go in, we're going to check the baffle, we're going to run your drain line or your leach field lines, find tree roots, things of that nature, kind of give you a heads up on it. Let me ask you this, what is your beliefs on pumping the tank and inspecting it, or inspecting it and then pumping a septic? Anyone want to?
What do you mean exactly?
Would you pump the tank and then have your tank inspected? Or would you have it inspected and then pumped?
Inspected and pumped.
Correct. We get a lot of them because you're negotiating. Of course, moving into a new house, you'd love for that thing to be pumped so you don't have to worry about it down the road. But in fact, you'll get a better inspection because if there's product, you're able to see that baffle is working and that the leach field lines are doing what they're supposed to do. So that is correct. We would want to get in there, inspect before you had anybody pump that tank. But that is the sewer guard. Again, on that is $2,000, $2,000 occurrence, $4,000 aggregate, and a $300 deductible on that one. The final warranty in this buyer's guide is a mold safe. Again, you will not see mold in the report. You'll see microbial or fungal growth, but we do mold testing. And we've had this happen where we've gone in a newer home in Knoxville, make it through the inspection, no microbial growth found at all. They were having some type of system put in or something after we had left. I would say it was probably out in the 50-day range, something like that, found mold. So we went back, we checked it out, we did file a claim on that, but I don't know how, if any of you guys have done mold remediation on any of your homes. It's not a cheap endeavor. So we did file that claim, the warranty did pay it. In Knoxville anyways, we got 2 quotes for them. There was an $8,000 quote and a $10,000 quote to get the remediation done on that mold. We filed the paperwork, they paid the small deductible, they got the $2,000 in a check to them. Now, when you're staring down the barrel at an $8,000 bill, $2,000 is not a lot, but it is something. And that's why we do these warranties, is to help out your clients there. But again, on that one, it is a $2,000 aggregate and a $300 deductible. Last thing that you guys will find in these buyer's guide is a recall check. The recall check, every appliance in your home has a data plate. Our inspectors go through, as part of their inspection, they will be taking pictures of those data plates and they'll be loading them up into the database. What that does is it will issue you an email once a month letting you know if there are any recalls on any of your appliances. If there is a recall on it, you simply would print out that email and the manufacturer is responsible for making that right. Okay? You have a microwave or something and it comes across as a recall, you get the new one put in, you can still manually enter the new data for that appliance into recall and continue, so if that one ever gets on a recall, you would be notified about that. I went through this kind of quick. A lot of you guys have used us and are familiar with this. Are there questions on any of that stuff? Easy crowd? Am I blowing this up on this wireless mic here? I'm not used to this professional stuff.
Dwayne, if you say anything about pools,
We do pool.
but yeah, I think you are one of the only people in this area that does inspect pools.
Correct. We'll do pools and hot tub spas. And you're right. A lot of times when we expand into a newer area, that's part of Sydney and I's research. What we're going to do is we're going to pull a listing of a home that has everything you would want inspected, and a pool is normally on that. And then we go and we do our research with other inspection companies in the area to find out. Most of the time they're going to punt on pool and spa and say you're going to have to contact somebody else, or they may do it for you. But we have personnel that are trained in it and can do the pool and spa inspection. So you are correct. We're truly a one-stop shop. So that phone call can get you everything you need for your transactions and that. But yes, we are one of few that will do the pool inspections.
Back to septic. You inspect but do not pump, correct?
That is correct. That's a can of worms that the liability. We don't want to pump. So we've made a business decision there that we're not going to get into that business. So, but yeah, good question. We get that often. Can you guys pump it too? No. We will go out. You go into the health department and you get a plat map and stuff, and it says there's a little X over here. Well, it's nowhere near where they're just telling you it's somewhere over in this general area. But with us, we would go in and in through a clean out or a P-trap, and we would run on our camera, on the scope, we have an attachment that's a GPS attachment. We'd snake out, we'd run it to the road, look at everything, but if it is a septic, we're gonna find out where that tank is. We're gonna leave it in there, we're gonna walk through your yard with a metal detecting wand. It's gonna ping and we're gonna know exactly where to dig. Part of that septic inspection is to dig the lid, pull the lid, run the cameras, looking at the baffle, the leach field, all that stuff, replace the lid, and replace the ground as close as we can to that. But that is ours. We don't get, and we will not leave that tank open for anyone, because then it's on us. So we have to return that lid and return the earth as close as we got it. So, but that's a good question. But no, we're not going to have anybody driving around with a honey pot and pumping those things. We're not in that business. So, but those have been with us for a while. That manufactured home is a new ancillary to us. We've started that. We found there's quite a bit of need. We're getting it a lot back in the Knoxville area where people are buying land and they're getting manufactured homes. We do. I mean, we were following a couple Claytons on the highway coming to visit you guys. So they're in demand, but financing, they normally need that certification, that engineer's letter, and we can do that for them.
We have a few of those.
Yeah, I've got some more. We will leave some more in there. And again, yeah, grab them, give them to your clients, and we would be happy to do that service or any other service. Working with you guys, we appreciate all that. Is there something we need to be doing different, or what are you guys seeing, or what are your thoughts? I know under the bridge kind of stuff, we had another inspector up in this area, and we had a couple instances, but that's been remedied. He's no longer with us, and we've got others. So a lot of you probably used Mike in this area. If you have used Mike, Jessica is his wife, so he gets his marching orders from Jessica. So, but Mike is a good one. He is retired military for us. So, again, I'll bring that up too. We do Homes for Heroes. So, if you find that you have a client that was in the service, or EMT, firefighter, doctors, nurses, teachers, all the first responders, make sure you let us know at the front end when you're getting a quote, and it'll be a $50 discount on their inspection for Homes for Heroes. And I don't know how many of you, are any of you guys on Agent Dashboard where you can see our stuff live, our schedule in real time?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I'll have to talk to Sydney about that one. Sydney should have told you. If I can get a business card from you guys, we will put you into, we will send you an invite on a text. The text will come 865-448 something, but we're not extending your car warranty. That is going to be an invite to an app. You will be able to go in there, get yourself a username and a password. You will see all of our inspectors' real-time schedule. So you guys are under the gun trying to get something on contract. You can look, and we need this inspection. We look, oh, well, NPI can do that Monday morning for us. They've got an opening. So if you guys want access to that real-time calendar, just get me a business card, and I'll make sure you get a text sent to you on that. But other than that, I mean, that's it on my end. But again, I wanted to reach out and find out what you guys are coming across, what you might like to see different. Uh-oh, we escaped. Hi, you're off camera, but you're cute. They probably think I'm nuts on this live.
Is there anything that we can do as realtors that you're seeing to better inform our clients as far as
one of the main things that we see or hear from a buyer is codes things. Tennessee standard of practice says we are not codes inspectors.
Yes.
We're generalists. So a lot of times, educating your buyer to that fact that an inspector is going to come in and they're going to give you a general picture of that home on that day. Not the day before, not the day after, it's on that day. We do get a lot of the calls we get, hey, my hot water tank was not wired up to code and you didn't call it out. Well, we're not allowed to call it out, but as far as a hot water tank, and this has happened, we had it on speakerphone. Sydney was fielding this one, but we were on speakerphone. Gentleman called and he said, hey, my hot water tank was not wired up to code. He said, oh, okay. Well, what's going on here? He said, well, we're not codes inspectors, but what are you referring to? And we went back and forth, and he's on speakerphone, so his wife's in the background, and she's getting irritated, so she starts driving the bus from back there, and it's going back and forth, but we're trying to tell them, and it's part of your pre-inspection agreements states right there that we are not codes. It's too hard to get from city to county in every city and county. They vary too much. We don't chase codes. No inspector in the state chases codes. But that is one of the things. So as far as how you can help on that end is to educate your client that, hey, they are doing a home inspection. They're going to find, you're going to get a report and you're going to find things there, but they are not codes inspectors. So we had that guy on there. We said, hey, can we ask you, who told you that it's not up to code? He says, well, the handyman I hired. Well, if it's not a licensed professional, then that's a resting of the case and we were done. We told them that. We'll get that. There's just different things. Islands, sometimes depending on where you're at, and it differs in Sevier County versus Sevierville. I think it's Maryville. It's Maryville and Blount County. There's two different ones there. We got a call and said, hey, it was a newer home too, and this woman called and said, hey, I don't have any power run to this island. You didn't call it out. Well, no, we didn't call it out. We're not going to call it out. But we had to go through that explanation and stuff because in that particular instance, there is no code requiring it to a standalone island for Maryville. It was, but if that island was up against a knee wall looking into the kitchen, and that wall would be wired. But again, we don't chase that because there's so many differences there. But again, that's where I would say the education of the client, and a lot of them have no idea what an inspector will do. Speaking of that, people not knowing exactly what an inspector does, we will offer you guys, if you so choose, you can go on an inspection and shadow one of our inspectors as long as it's not your transaction. But if that's something you want to do, you just let us go. If you'd like to climb in that crawl space or up on that roof or whatever, or if you'd like to stand there and just stand back for that part and then see how the rest of it goes. But we do. We offer, especially to new agents, we offer the opportunity for them to shadow one of our inspectors and get a better grasp, and in turn go back and educate the buyer as to how the inspection is going to happen.
That's neat. I would like to do that.
Well, we'll get you on.
I have another question too. As far as I've heard some different things about like say if access to an attic is like they just painted over the attic door. Like you guys, if it's not easily accessible, you can't get through it. And is that far as like furniture,
Correct.
behind outlets and stuff, you're not moving that out?
The state tells us we're not allowed to.
No.
It has to be readily accessible, readily visible. We cannot, the term they use is we cannot be intrusive. Moving things is considered intrusive. Busting a paint lock on that, it would be intrusive, so yes. Now, in turn, we have to explain why that residential, and I'll talk commercial in a second, but residential, there is a guideline, the state of Tennessee mandates how we need to do an inspection. If we were supposed to inspect it and we couldn't, we need picture documentation and wording stating the reason why it is not shown as inspected in the report. But yes, that is considered intrusive, and we wouldn't move that table if there was an outlet behind it. Borderline, if he could get to it, he's going to check it. But
How, I don't know if Joey or Matt or anyone who knows this true, but how is that, if you're representing the buyer and they want everything covered, and so I got an inspection report back where they couldn't get to the ceiling because of that door being painted,
right.
and they were pretty mad about it. So like, how, as you are representing the buyer, how can you help with that to make sure everything is covered and done?
I guess I would be talking to the listing agent, and that homeowner can take a razor knife and bust that seal and make it accessible. We just cannot. Something happens, we bust the door in half or whatever it might be, then we're on the hook for it. Same thing on estimates. You'll never hear any of our guys give an estimate on a repair.
Right.
That's illegal to do that. If you've got an inspector giving you quotes on stuff, that's a conflict of interest, and they shouldn't be doing. Actually, by law, they shouldn't be doing it. You get on the thing and say, I believe that's going to be $5,000 to fix that. Comes along and they get it fixed and it's $10,000. I told you $5,000 as an inspector, I'm on the hook.
Right.
So you're not going to get it. Inside of this booklet, there are some codes in there that you could scan for repair estimates. That's not us. That's a third party. We wouldn't be able to give you those. And if you're getting that, that's kind of, somebody's in a gray area if they're giving you a quote on the inspection and willing to do that repair for you. That's a no-no as far as legal side of things. But I would probably handle it that way. I'd go back and if you got into the negotiation, I mean, you could treat that as part of a reinspection, make them cover a reinspection and make sure that stuff's accessible. Yeah. But you're correct. We would not have bust that seal.
Okay. Yeah.
So again, that's just education that we are non-intrusive. So,
Thank you.
any others? Any other things? I forgot the most important part. Cindy hits it right off the bat. How was the food?
That was very good. Yes.
Okay.
Thank
I had to go get filling, so my face is still not.
Well, we don't take any of it with us, so you can make a plate for later. So, but we do appreciate you guys, and if there is something that you find that would help you guys in what we do, let us know. We want to build these relationships with you guys. We don't want the one inspection and done. We want to build a relationship where we can prove ourselves to you and earn your business.
And both Dwayne and Sydney have business cards in here.
Yeah, and I'll put some more. I don't know how many are
Have some
there.
booklets, but I guess we'll have some more. But we do want to say that NPI is a sponsor, so they faithfully do those sponsorship levels, level each week, each month. They're in our affiliate brochure, and you all enable us to let us serve the community once a month, and so we're appreciative, and we like to encourage our agents to use sponsors as much as you can in those areas.
Yeah, and we enjoy that, coming and passing out chicken sandwiches to the firefighters and all
Jessica
that.
can too.
Yeah, Jessica came on that one. We've come to your Christmas parties, which we enjoy as well. But we do enjoy the partnership that we've got with you. And again, just let us know if there's something. We would take more inspections, more. But I know you got to find the inventory and all that good stuff. But definitely put us in your top 3 and let that buyer make the phone call at least. And from there, we'll earn the business.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, we're not taking any food, so eat up.
Not a problem.
Oh,